The conversation. In this session, we are going to see the chapter number 16 and 17. Chapter number 16 is consumerism. Chapter number 17 is consumer protection. In the 16th lesson, let us see what is the meaning of consumer or who is a consumer. A consumer is one who consumes goods or uses goods manufactured and sold by others. One who avails service such as banking, transportation, insurance, etc. So in simple terms, we can say consumer means one who buys a product or service. Those person or those people are called as consumer. Now let us see the definition of consumerism. Consumerism is an attempt to enhance the right and power by buyers in relation to sellers. So it focuses on the protecting the consumer from the buyers. That aspect is called consumerism. Next we will move on to caveat emptor. Caveat emptor means let the buyer be aware. Buyer has to purchase the quality product. If the product does not meet the expectation, they cannot blame the seller. So this particular concept of caveat emptor tells buyer must be aware what he is doing in terms of purchase. He cannot blame a single percentage on the seller for the product that is being bought by him. If it is inferior in quality, if it is in good quantity, likewise, all those things or blame cannot be posted on the seller. The buyer is solely responsible. This is the philosophy mentioned by the person caveat emptor. Next we will move on to caveat venditor. Caveat venditor means let the seller be aware. Seller has to sell the quality products to the consumer. If anything wrong, buyer will file a case against the seller or produce. Now on the other side, on the contrary to the caveat emptor, the caveat venditor says the seller must be aware. The seller must sell only good quality products, only correct measurement of products to the buyers, and he must be booked or he must be penalized for the mistake what he is going to do in the transaction that is happening with the buyers. What is Consumer Protection Act 1986? The act is referred in short as COPRA. It protects and promotes consumers from unfair trade practices, defective goods, false advertisement, etc. This is a separate law that has been amended in the year 1986 for the purpose of protecting the consumers from the sellers who are misleading, misguiding, providing unquality products, providing less quantity products. Those deviations by the sellers are being taken care by this particular Consumer Protection Act of 1986. In short, is called as COPRA. Now we will move on to chapter number 17, Consumer Protection. First we will see a right to be informed. Consumer should be given all the relevant fact about the product, example price, expiry date, weight, or in short to tell all the details related to the product that he is going to buy or all the service that is going to get from the seller. Those things has to be informed. This is called a right to be informed. It is an ultimate right of any buyer of product or service. The consumer must be aware, and it is by law. The law says very clearly the seller has to inform about the product or service that is going to be offered. Next, a right to safety. The consumer are entitled to protection of their health and safety from goods and service they buy. So it is the ultimate responsibility of the seller to give a product which does not affect the health of the buyer, as well as it will not create any damage to the buyers in one or the other way. This is the important right of a buyer, that is right to safety. Next we will see the rights of consumer according to John F. Kennedy. What Mr. John F. Kennedy says: safety, the right to be informed, the right to choose, and the right to be heard. So first one is going to be of a safety product must be provided to the consumer. Next, information about the product must be told to the consumer. Next, the consumer must be given an options to choose among the varieties of product. And next, the opinions and the feedback of the product must be heard by the seller from the consumer point of view. This is the definition, or this is the terminology given by John F. Kennedy about the right of consumer. Which is the supreme objective of business? Satisfaction of consumer needs or requirements is stated to be the superior objective of business. Any type of business, the business has to have one single objective. That objective is nothing but the consumer's satisfaction is the prima facie, and when the consumers are being satisfied, automatically the consumer will be turning back to the same product again and again. The last part of the lesson: what are the important aspects to be kept in mind by consumer while purchasing goods related to the quality of goods? The consumer should inquire about the price from certain shops and if possible from government stores to get an idea of its price. So not only about the price, but also the consumer must be aware about the type of product, quantity of the product, price of the product, when it's been manufactured, what has been the expiry date. All these things consumer must be aware while doing the purchase of each and every product to the utmost care, because and now the contamination, now the change in prices from different sellers, all these things are happening in day-to-day life. I conclude. Thank you. I hope you refer the picture of study material as well as audio content what I am giving to you. So what all the study material I am passing on through WhatsApp in terms of study materials related to commerce 2 marks as well as audio content, it is only for 2 marks. Later on we will see the 3 marks and 5 marks in the following days.